Welcome to a interview with my wonderful client, Rob. Rob, briefly, could you tell me what your business does?
My business builds developer tools products called WebHook. Basically, it replicates data from third-party APIs into your own SQL database.
Fantastic. And what were you skeptical about before starting the coaching program?
I was skeptical about my ability to make the company successful. I'm a developer by trade and experience, and I've worked in the startup world a lot, but this is it was something new, and pursuing different funding and revenue models from the developer tools space, which is very venture capital driven. I was skeptical that this was going to work. Been at it for about a year and a half, so this was like get through this and either feel like it's time to wind it down or it's time to really go full steam ahead.
Fantastic. And what's one tangible thing that you're taking away from the coaching that's making the most impact in your business right now?
Definitely having something that I always struggled with is like, shouldn't, what we're doing is not super unique in terms of marketing and sales, and shouldn't there be can I like hire someone to do all this for me? And can't really hire someone to do it for you, but there are proven ways to do it that you're not really going to appreciate from reading a book or taking a short course or reading some blog posts or even talking to mentors and stuff informally. I've been working with a mentor for about a year, and the concrete things I took away from it are all the concrete things I need to do to how to market and how to think about marketing, how to hold myself accountable for the marketing I do or do not do, how to make sure I'm spending my time on useful things. These were, like I mentioned, I've been working at this for working on sort of the growth and marketing side for over a year, and I made much more progress in just the first few weeks than in terms of skills and information growth than I had in the previous year.
Wow, fantastic. So more progress just in a few weeks than the previous full year. Amazing. I love hearing that. I'm so happy that you have made so much progress. And what's one measurable outcome that we helped you get to?
You presented us a bunch of different strategies and ways to think about different communities to tap into, different ways to find where our audience would be. So one of those is signed up for some newsletters and kept my eye open on articles that were tangentially related to our thing we're doing. And one of those came in, and I commented, wrote back, and I was like, there are actually a lot of problems with this article you sent. And the newsletter maintainer was like, oh, what do you mean? So I wrote up a response, and I'm like, hey, would you put this into newsletter if I wrote it up as a blog post? And I did, and that drove a huge amount of traffic to the site, and but also the concrete thing of you saying you need a lead magnet. You need a thing people will land on your site and not just read the post, but a reason for them to give you their email and a reason for them to continue to engage them. So just a couple days before this huge influx of traffic, I created this lead magnet on the site, which worked out really well. So that exponentially increased the number of signups and emails we had on our contact list. And without the guidance of here are the places you need to look for, here's how to build a community or where to find people who would be in your community, and also here are the things people need to do when they land on your site, were two like key components that I don't think I would have had without without this coaching.
Fantastic. So how many leads did you get? How many qualified marketing leads did you get from the lead magnet and that traffic spike?
So that traffic spike was probably 60 downloads in the end. It trickled in over
Wow.
time. And then we've had probably a dozen or two more that have come in, just because I think it's our lead magnet is pretty compelling, I think, in terms of the information it offers, and establishes us as sort of an expertise in this API, third-party API space. So more have continued to come in, and it's also shown us like building up a library of content for developers to refer to has been useful. So yeah, that was, it's hard to buy. Nothing beats that organic traffic, and that was way more than I had hoped for. It was a really nice, and also just really good validation that we have something meaningful to say. We have a good viewpoint. It's worth pursuing. It resonates with people, and it's possible for us to drive traffic with good content, and keeping our eyes open on the communities and sources of information that we need to. These are viable strategies rather than just a list of things. It was really nice to have that validation of the idea and of our idea, and also of the training we're getting.
Amazing. So what I'm hearing is that you have almost 75 or 80 marketing qualified leads from that lead magnet, all organic, didn't pay any advertising to get those. And now you have a list that you can nurture and move closer towards being customers. And we also created for you an email, like a lifecycle email sequence to nurture them. Is that right?
That's right. Now I had those emails, and like, now what do I actually do with them was something I wasn't really prepared for. And I did a first pass at drip emails, and in your way, you were like, not quite there. And then you gave me some resources to look at in terms of copy. I've been blogging for a while, and you think you have a certain voice and a way of writing, and then you gave me good resources, and I was able to look at those and do another pass and rewrite them, and like, okay, now I would actually read these. You look back at the stuff I wrote, and I'm like, I just skim over this. It's just like a lot of text, and I don't really know what they're saying. And then you learn how to some good examples, and putting one of the really useful things that you pushed early on is interviewing customers to get data driven, more like qualitative data. And that those like testimonials that our customers gave, we got up on the site, but just those 5 or 6 sentences, I've probably read them a few hundred times. Anytime I get stuck, you have repeated many times, and think in your customer's own words and communicating your customer's own words. So whenever I get stuck, I just read those testimonial sentences, and I get unstuck. So
Awesome.
Crafting those drip emails got a lot easier when I got out of my head and got into my customer's head and saying, what would I actually want to read?
Fantastic. Yeah, you found your voice, and you have translated that voice into this great nurture campaign. And I'm so excited to see what happens next and how you're going to be able to convert this list into customers and users of your awesome product. So proud of you, Rob. You've done beautifully. And on to the next. So what would you say to someone who is considering hiring me as their coach and embarking on this work?
I would say do it. Or I found myself spending a lot of time and not getting a lot of value from what I was doing on my own. And if you're coming from outside of the skill set that you need, so in my case, I don't have a marketing or sales background. It is extremely hard to get your business going without acquiring those skills in some way. So it's either take a course, or intensive course, get a coach. That is, some of the best money I've ever spent has been your coaching fee for this 3 months, because it has ultimately saved a huge amount of time, and will where we ended up was I could see the path forward and have confidence that was actually the path. And I have no question that we're going to the investment we made in coaching is going to be paid off many times over. And I don't think we would have got there without it. So that would be my suggestion, is do it. I don't think you're going to regret it. It's not going to work miracles. Ultimately, you have to put in the work, and you have to show up, and you have to spend the time. And if you do those things, having a experienced coach like yourself is just like a rocket pack for the progress you would make otherwise.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Rob. It's been wonderful helping you over these past 3 months, and I look forward to continuing to partner together and build your business forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Noah.